Signs of a fight. Paw prints, beastly ones, that's clear. Just on this spot, though. Aerial attack. Must have been. Man, bled to death. Big beast inflicted these wounds. Clear from the claw marks. Must have a toothy smile, too, judging by what ripped his throat open. Draconid. Gotta be. Maybe a basilisk? Except these prints don't belong to any variety I know. Just a little different. Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. It'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk does nest here. I look after it personally.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beasts murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory. I posted a number of signs, warnings, specifically to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants. They shall take the body, return it to the family with a generous sum as recompense.
Pay the victim's family's compensation? Why?
These lands have been my family's for decades, granted to us by Duchess Ademarta. Beyond them, the basilisk ventures not, hunts not, it does not kill or destroy. Provided it is not provoked. Yet if it does destroy, if it kills, I compensate all for their loss, from my own coffers.
Your coffers? Got a store of sons and husbands in there to compensate for those shredded by your beast?
Naturally, I cannot revive the dead, but I do make generous restitution to their loved ones. Just last summer, I paid a leather tooler's widow 800 crowns. This unfortunate merchant's family, to be duly indemnified as well.
Claim this to be the last surviving basilisk? How do you figure?
The last of this subspecies. Their population was much larger at one time, see? Before the beech forests were felled.
Mean to suggest a direct correlation between beechwood forest density and basilisk populations?
Indirect, I prefer to contend. Beechwood forests are the chief habitat of roe deer, you see. In turn, a staple of the basilisk diet. When roe deer grew scarce, basilisks made humans their staple food. Enter the witchers. And thus, we've come to this one last specimen. It's a female. As recently as last year, we still had 2. But Jocast's mate passed on, alas.
Jocast?
Should she not have a name? My father dubbed her in honor of my dear departed mother. Jocast was brooding then. 2 eggs. That she cast from her nest, alas, when the male perished.
Who exactly are you? And how'd you develop such an interest in the beast?
Count Borges, happy to be of service. As to the beast, well, this subspecies is our dynastic symbol. The Desalfareses have for centuries signed with the Regulus Platinum. As family legend has it, a female of the species rescued an ancestor, a boy at the time, from a burning building. She took the tyke back to her nest, where she fed him as if he were one of her own youngsters.
Malarkey.
To be sure, but beautiful malarkey it is.
Where's the basilisk nesting? Any idea?
Of course I've an idea, but you don't really expect me to tell you. Those are not toy swords. I know your intentions.
Find it myself then. Easy to track with its distinct paw prints. Mentioned 2 merchants, so I might also look for the other corpse. Basilisk scales are usually thicker, not nearly so fine. Could be more sensitive to fire, this one.
Alas, it is true. Your caste has a terrible fear of fire. She's a highly sensitive creature. Rid your mind of any thought to kill her. You would destroy the last of a species.
Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale.
Your Coco is so very curious. Strong scents especially intrigue her. The barrels, they must have drawn her in. Drawn her to the caravan.
Busted barrels slimed with venom. Hallmarks of an attack. Basilisk must have caught the second victim here. Anyway, got 2 scents. Venom and tannin. Ought to be enough to track the beast.
Why track her at all? Your caste is protected. Her death would forever destabilize the ecosystem. Who knows what would happen? I see unforeseeable consequences down the line. Simply refrain from provoking her. Harm her not, and she too will leave you untouched. I've long suspected they do it on purpose. Scent.
Odors dispersed. Seems to be everywhere. Basilisk must be high in the sky. Bloodstains. Clear as day. Sense perceptible again. Just as I expected. Second victim, but relatively unscathed. Basilisk must have been dragging him back to its nest for later. Dropped him for some reason. Wonder why. Hear something, but it's no basilisk screech. Human voices.
Yamo, Harry, prepare the equipment. Beast wandered off somewheres. We got to lure it back. And who might you be?
Funny, about to ask you the same.
They call us the Reavers.
Reavers? Wouldn't happen to hail from Crinfrid, would you?
Aye, we do. But how's it you know? And again, who the hell are you?
Geralt of Rivia. I'm a witcher. Know your brethren in arms. Bohold, Kennet and Desperate, new boy too.
Ah, you're that witcher. Aye, Bohold mentioned you. Said you swing a mean sword.
A professional. Good you came along. Could take on the brute together. Talk is the venom's something horrifying. Could use another pair of hands. Fee what we've gotten from the guild. We'll share it fair and square. You in?
Gentlemen, this hurts my ears and pains my heart. You aim to kill your caste? It cannot be. The creature is protected.
If you fear to lose the guild's reward, I shall repay it, and reward you doubly to leave the beast be. You cannot slay the last living specimen of a near-extinct subspecies.
Willing to pay, are you? Long as we do nothing? That's rather novel. What say you to that, master? Far as I know, beasts culled the human race by 5 already.
Beast has to die. We work together, we'll make quick work of it.
After all I told you of your caste, you would murder her? Oh, you will regret this, friend. I know folk. I shall tell them you slew the last surviving specimen.
Sorry, Master de Salvarez. Actually, not sorry. A monster's a monster. Silvery, plaid, or polka-dotted, last or next to last specimen, doesn't matter. It's a dangerous predator that kills humans. Enough said.
Herbalists, alchemists, I know many. They will despise you. I shall tell them of a heartless cur who cares not an ounce for balance in nature. You shall pay arms and legs for their wares. More!
Somebody plug this Lorden's gob, eh? Right, Master Witcher. How do we aim to fight the filth? We've crossbows. Comply with bolts while you do the hack and slash? Or all go at it as a bunch, blades in hand, fire in our hearts? You decide. You're the one with experience.
Use your crossbows, keep her on the ground. Good idea.
Did you say her?
It's a female, yeah.
Hear that, lads? We've a learned witcher here. 100 spans out, and he spotted what the lizard's got between its legs. Right now, lads. You've heard the specialist. Ready your crossbows.
All good and fine, but the monster's not in its nest. Gotta track it down first.
Not at all necessary, Geralt. We looked into it, gave it a think. Traders use tannin to lure the beast. Who says we can't do the same?
You got any tannin?
Came into a bit, aye. Yeah, willing to do the honours?
There.
Grab your bellies! Shoot the bitch down!
Show me what you got.
A stroke like that. To fight at a true witcher's side. Prime the way you swung that razor, mate.
Mention some fee from a guild. I hear you right?
Ha! Witcher drives right for the gut. A professional, right thorough. Your share, friend. Every last copper as we agreed. We'll collect us a few of them silver scales and a tail. Proof for the guild, right?
And we'll get word of you to some folk. Merchant folk, meaning. They ought to treat you right.
Thanks, and farewell.
My poor Yokast, cruelly slaughtered.
That was some fine twirling. Feet and
My
blade,
poor
Witcher.
cast, cruelly slow. Like a common beast.
A jump is like a lady. You can always get a new one.
Of course, I can tell thee, Malinga. But who am I to judge?
Hey, Tony Champion! The bells must give you one.
I never would have signed on for the job.
What the golly blasting devils are you doing, men? What plague? An unfortunate turn of events, that's all. Get back to chiseling. If we don't deliver that head on time, the infestor will twist my plums off.
Is that what you'll tell Emil's widow? That a cow crushed him and it was an accident? This, sir, is a grave matter. It requires a specialist, some mage or warlock.
What happened here?
Look! It's that Witcher who's come to town. Maybe he can do something. An exorcism or the like. We should ask how much coin he'll want.
Saw your notice. Got a problem with a cow? Fear a plague, is that it?
Yes, indeed. And a horrid one at that. We've irked the gods something true we have. In Zeracania, they've sent a plague of locusts, then of frogs. With us, they skipped right to raining cows down on us.
Enough! Enough! No need to so panic. Come, Master Witcher, I shall divulge to you the matter at hand. Yes, an unfortunate matter indeed. To be crushed by a cow. A true shame, Emil. He was a good worker. I told them at once there had to be a simple explanation. But that lot, no. Right away they started in screaming, plague! Demanding higher wages for hardship, poor working conditions, you see? They'll ruin me, the blotters.
My job is to figure out why a cow fell from the sky. That it?
That too. The thing is, since none bother to clear the cow corpse, some filths overrun the other pit. We fear to venture there.
Not surprised. Cow, where'd it come from? What kind was it?
Why, the ordinary spotted kind. Nothing unusual. Its corpse rots in the other pit, sends out its stench, and Emil lies right beneath it. Will you tend to the matter, take on the contract?
What exactly is going on here?
Construction of a statue of the prophet Lepiota. We're carving it. Not all at once, that is, but piece by piece. A pious infestus revived the project after years of neglect. He's engaged all nearby quarries in its completion. And we would be on schedule were it not for the incident. Please, Master, will you look into it?
Need to know more about this accident. Anyone actually see what happened?
No, but sounds there were. Osturv had just gone to see how Emil was getting along when suddenly we heard an ear-botching boom. Moments later, something smashed into one of the cranes.
Doubt it was the cow that hit the crane.
Probably true. At any rate, come morn, we ventured out to sea, but the vermin drove us off. With that, all work came to a halt. Has remained so since. Master, tarry no longer, please. Will you take on the matter?
Need to talk about my reward before I decide.
Time for a good hackle. So how much would you take? What? You jest! We mine stone here, not gold. Fine. But that is the sum total. No bonuses or gratuities on top. Understood?
Fine, I'll look into it. Might be a botched portal, but I doubt it.
La Piota reward you with progeny aplenty. I shall keep an eye out for your return.
Come evening, I'm off to the bells, quick as a flash. Those girls can't wait to see.
See? You're the Duke of this, the Duke of that, you're the Duke of Tom Tittle.
Must be Emil. Workers mentioned him. Poor guy, unlucky as all hell. Right, now where do I start? Crushed by something heavy. Skull base is cracked. Fresh tooth marks. Necrophages. But they got to him after his death. Won't learn anything else from the body. Tissues crushed in places. Must have fallen from quite a height. Gut sliced open. Not much blood, so it happened after death. Heart had already stopped pumping. Tooth marks. Small ones, though. So necrophages left him clearly. Sure sniffed out their feast fast. Deep claw wounds. Spread between talons indicates a draconid. A wyvern, probably. But these wounds weren't the cause of death. Got it. All clear now. Cow died when it fell from a great height. Draconid must have dropped it. A youngster probably trying to get the cow back to its nest, but it proved too heavy. Emil's bad luck to be standing right underneath. And then there's the crane. Blood. Draconid must have hit it pretty hard. Dropped the cow, then probably tried to steady its flight. Got hurt in the process. Good. Should be simple to track down. Traces of draconid blood. Barely perceptible. I'm on the right track. Started bleeding heavily. Wound was more serious than I thought, looks like. Smells like sour mash. Draconid must have attacked a local distillery. Distillery. Raised a ruckus, made a mess, then moved on. Paw prints. Crawled through here. Clearly too tired to fly. Was in a bad way. Barely crawling. Second draconid landed here. A larger one. Waited for the smaller one to heal. Then they flew off together. Should be easy to track. Smaller one was still bleeding, luckily. Flew off together. Probably bound for their nest. Trail ends here. Been up here already. Might want to take a look, just to be sure. Had it right. Slizzard stole the cows. Well, killed them already. Maybe now I can get someone to pay me for it. Good thing I incinerated those eggs back there. Now to collect my reward.
I do what they paid me to do. That's it. Come evening, I'm off to the bells, quick as a flash. Those girls can't wait to see me.
Well, have you learned how that cow came to fly?
Yeah, you can get back to work. And it wasn't a plague of falling cows.
Did I not say so from the start? A weight off my chest. So what was behind the animal's plummet?
Young Slizzard flying over the quarry dropped it. Was trying to get it back to its nest. Food for its mother and siblings. Probably heard the last of the beasts. Burned the nest, eggs, everything.
A praiseworthy precaution, but as I said, I can only pay you what we agreed. I simply haven't any more.
Here, take this. And I thank you, Master.
cleared up now, right? No gods, no plague, just the dragon, but it's gone too. We're to pay Emil's widow compensation, and that will be that. So, why do you still stand there and wait, men? Back to work! Chop, chop! Master, what would I have done without you? Countless throngs of Lebiota's followers will praise in prayer.
And you'll pay me, right?
But of course, your reward. The Infestor is a serious man of enterprise. Our plan foresees mass conversions. With the donations that will follow, we aim to recoup the costs of production in 3 to 5 years. Everything has been calculated, you see, down to the last decimal.
Good luck then. Farewell.
Oh, here he comes, a hero, Geralt the Raven.
All is in order!
Greetings, Knight. I've heard reports of feats of great bravery. Thus, please accept this reward for your dedication, sir.
Well,
go in peace for a night.
Stocks and the whip await those running riot. Grace no fuss, water no wine.
They say a great deal about you, Richard.
nice tune.
Richard's rather.
Keep calm. Start no brawls.
Yeah? What is it?
Now, why does one summon a witcher, To inquire about the gossip currently flowing about the court? I have a problem with a beast.
Ah, you the one posted the notice? Go on then, spit it out. What's it about?
First, my dear witcher, we must establish ground rules. Given the vast difference in our respective social positions, I'm sorry to say I take umbrage at the familiar tone you take. I expect deference. I expect you to address me as Sir, or better yet, as Monsieur de Bourbeau.
Listen, friend. There's an enormous difference between us, but it's not about status. It's about me having 2 swords on my back, and you having none. So I'll call you whatever I want, and you either deal with that or solve your monster problem yourself.
The gall! I shall file a complaint with your guild.
Make sure you address it to customer service. Kaer Morhen, Kedwin. Now talk, before I change my mind and go.
Nordlings and their manners. Very well. Let us get this over with. Something has infested my vineyard.
Great. Let me go prepare my something oil then.
I beg your pardon?
Need more information than that. Where was this something seen? Any witnesses? Bodies to examine?
Therein lies the rub. None has seen the beast. We've only heard signs of its presence, a strange scratching and shrieks. Neither are there any corpses to inspect. Men simply disappear without a trace.
Noises you mentioned. Where do they come from?
Well, everywhere. But they're most clearly audible in the wine cellar.
Means the monster must dwell underground. When are the noises loudest?
In the night, just as they were years ago, when the buildings quaked. Another expert agreed to look into the matter then, but was never thereafter seen nor heard of.
Who's disappeared, if you don't mind my asking?
Most recently some farmhand, I believe.
Despite the vast difference in social status, you remember the farmhand's name, maybe?
No. You must speak to my wife. She has more collegial relations with this household help. She's away at the moment visiting her mother, but should return forthwith. Oh, that should suffice with the questions. Now tell me, will you take the contract? Yea or nay?
Depends. What kind of reward are we talking about?
How much? Do you jest? Fine. Seems I must take the loss. Agreed.
Fine, I'll do it. Need to look around here first. Then I'll want to talk to Madame de Bourbeau.
Very well. I shall inform you once she has returned. Meanwhile, the key to the cellar. Just... whatever you do, please do not disturb the wine barrels.
Guess this champion.
All right, let's look around. Rats. Not known to kidnap farmhands. What the? A tunnel? Can finally see something. Kicking wars? next tunnel. Should be able to break through. Damn it, it's getting away. Getting more interesting by the minute. Kicking should destroy them before the young hatch. Start prowling the vineyard. No Kikimor dug this. Tunnels are the work of something much bigger. Something with heavy, wide claws. Cracked Kikimor eggs. Something's been feeding on them. Damn it. Young could hatch any minute. Last one. Water coursing. Underground stream. Monster I'm looking for lives underground, digs tunnels, feeds on Kikimors, and is big. Very big. Won't learn anything else here. Time to go back to the surface.
Sacre bleu!
What is the meaning of this? I'm paying you to slay a monster, not demolish my property.
Property's falling apart on its own, what with all the tunnels under it. I'd fill those in soon if you don't want your building to collapse.
Tunnels? Fiddle my thumb, how did tunnels appear down there?
Something dug 'em. A large creature. Also killed a few Kikimors down there and destroyed their eggs. Consider it a half favor. Won't cost you much.
Kikimor eggs. Yes, of course, good work. Indeed, a reward is due.
Madame de Bourbeau, I presume? Hear you know something about the missing farmhand.
Jean-Luc? Yes. We went to examine this year's seedlings. Something had been nibbling at them. Then we heard these odd noises. Jean-Luc went to reconnoiter and never returned.
Where did you last see Jean-Luc, madame? Exactly.
In the fields, north of here, by the wood.
New seedlings there? I was under the distinct impression we had planted them all on the south slope.
Almost all, my dear. I requested that some be planted to the north, by the grove. Just the remainders.
Madame, Could you describe Jean-Luc?
Tall, exceedingly well built, hair black as pitch.
Dear, concentrate. There is not a peasant that is not well built. They work in the fields all day. He means scars, birthmarks, that sort of thing.
Then none, I suppose. But he did wear a pendant around his neck. A silver one.
Silver jewelry on a farmhand?
It was a gift, I believe. Or that is what he claimed.
Should be enough to go on.
Then what are you fritting round here for? Get to work!
Long live Duchessa Anna Henrietta.
Bread's really stale. Been here a while. Good vintage. Must have been a special occasion. Blanket was laid out here. Someone had a picnic. Or something. Footprints. 2 sets. Tracks split. Woman turned back here. Man kept going. Blood. Human. Large, deep tracks. Felled trees, as if something rolled over them. So is Shalmar. Only they dig tunnels and move like that. Trail leads to that cave. His school symbol on the wall. Clever. Gotta keep a lookout for more. marks. Straight, dull, perfect for digging. Whoa, shale Mars close.
How you like that silver?
Shale Mars lair, gotta be. Drags its victims here. Pretty fresh, some of them. Gonna have to brew some bait. Need the blood of a recent victim and some of the mushrooms that grow here. Silver pendant, fresh corpse, lock of hair inside. Must be Jean-Luc, highly decayed. Color is hardly Ebo's. Been lying here a while. Gotta spill it within the lair, somewhere near an air current, so the scent spreads throughout the cave. Ugh, that stench. Shalemore will be here any minute. Come on.
So, have you found him?
Found this.
Jean-Luc?
Sorry. Really, I am. Lock of hair inside. It's yours, isn't it?
Yes. Jean-Luc and I... Well, I'm certain you've pieced it together already. I thank you for your discretion, for avenging him. Please, it's terribly modest, I know, but you must take this reward. My husband is certain to be miserly with his gold. Now, if I may, I'd like to be alone.
The wall. Fix it by the...
You. Can we talk?
You'd best be bearing good news. Get on with it.
Got rid of the beast that was giving you trouble. It was a Shelmar.
Shelma? Whatever could that be?
Kinda like a cross between a mole and a caterpillar. Just big as a barn.
Uh-huh. Well, Master Witcher, you make a poor first impression, but ultimately proved your worth. There. Your reward.
As for Jean-Luc, afraid he's dead. Sorry.
Who? Oh, him. Trivial as losses go. I shall soon find another to take his place.
Yeah, as will Madame du Bourbeau, I bet. So long.
Folks say some large armored